What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Men's Club Podcast. This is episode 16, and I'm glad to be back again.
Finally
again. So let's just go ahead and dive on into it, but real quick, I'm RD.
I'm TJ.
I'm Jordan.
And I'm Pops.
You're going to butcher that every time you do an intro, aren't you?
Yes, every time.
This is the problem. You say, RD, go ahead and open this up. I'm going to open it up.
Anyway.
But I'm going to talk a little bit about today. Some of you guys may watch like the Joe Rogan podcast and stuff, and it's a topic not really touched on except for his podcast.
You telling me this now?
DMT?
No, not DMT.
That's next week's episode.
We're doing the God drug.
Hands on. No, it's
on camera.
It's space exploration and like NASA and SpaceX. Like, why come we never hear anything about it on the mainstream media and stuff? Like, what's actually
because they don't care.
Like, what's actually happening to it? I know in the previous administration, it was kind of it was defunded a lot.
I mean,
NASA.
Living where we do, we're right here by Huntsville and everything.
Oh, way to OPSEC, man.
You've already
blown it.
He gave our address at one point, so don't even.
You're literally send the Addy. I'll send the Addy.
I didn't give our address. I just said we live in Red Bay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so
what's Red Bay?
Yeah, we're right here.
There is Red Bay, Arkansas.
It's on the coast.
Yeah. No, it's Red Bay, Florida.
Or Red Bay, Florida. Yeah,
that's the other Red Bay.
It's like
Either way.
putting stuff in Arkansas.
There's Russellville, Arkansas, though.
But
either way, so we're right here beside Huntsville. So we did actually see a lot of the defunding happen.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Because
a visual right now, actually. Continue.
I don't even know if I want to.
anyway, go ahead, Jordan.
I mean, yeah.
All right, so we're right here beside the Von Braun Center. A lot of major space exploration was actually started and fundamentalized within the state of Alabama.
I was going to say ULA, NASA.
I mean, we've seen so much of it, and then we saw all the infrastructure just go to nothingness.
Yeah.
Because the defunding happened.
I thought the museum closed.
No.
No, the museum did not close. The museum is privately funded at this point, though, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Really cool
It's
museum.
amazing if you haven't gone, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I've been to it.
Okay.
They got space food there.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, we saw all the infrastructure go. We saw, I can't really say we saw the infrastructure go. We saw the infrastructure being abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
There's really nothing happening with it. Besides
Yeah, it's not like we were in
Elon.
the plant.
Yeah.
Well, that's like a thing.
Well, here's the thing, too. You got to remember, there is an actual TV channel that's devoted to nothing but NASA.
Yeah.
They have their own show?
Yeah.
I mean,
their own channel?
It's
Did not
on
know that.
24 hours, 24/7, and and they show the space station, and they do things from it. Yeah, I mean, as far as the media goes, unless Elon shoots something up in the air, they don't really.
Well, they don't even do that, because you realize that over the past 8 months, he's sent up 12 rockets, and he's only lost 2.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just talking about the mainstream media not paying any attention to it, I had to learn from one of my former bosses that NASA and Elon had come together to put people in space.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that happened. I thought Elon was still just his own thing. I didn't know that NASA was like...
Well, they're not merged or anything. They did a joint operation.
Okay.
Where one of Elon's rockets took 2 NASA astronauts to space.
Oh, that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Something they don't even talk about on the Joe Rogan podcast that Elon's doing in space is Starlink. And you wouldn't know about that unless you were in our situation where internet don't exist out here. Because Starlink is poised to pretty much, the only thing faster than Starlink is going to be fiber, except for Starlink will be accessible globally.
Yeah. And see, I guess that's what my problem comes with it. As we have a new telescope about to go up, and like Fox News or like CNN. None of these big letter news networks are covering anything.
Yeah, we've got a major telescope about to go up, but also we're conducting experiments on the ISS daily.
Yeah.
They're growing like plants and stuff up there.
Yeah, I mean we're working on stuff to colonize Mars while in space, and no one wants to cover it.
I want it on that.
It's like when you mention stuff like terraforming, people are like, well, what's that? I mean, it doesn't matter. Keep moving past it. I was like, that's a huge deal.
Yeah,
like, people should.
We had a whole Matt Damon movie about how it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's 100% possible.
But the biggest reason is, of course, the situations going on in America today, and most major news networks don't feel like that it's important.
Well, we've talked about this before, right? If it's not a tragedy, they're not going to say it.
Yeah, to break up the diversity and the agendas that are being pushed through all the news networks. So why would they want to talk about something that's actually a positive thing?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no one cares about progress.
Name the last time you heard anything positive come out of a major news network.
Well, I mean that's true too, just in itself.
I saw that one. Every now and again, I think it's like CNBC or in between, they're like, America's going to hell in a handbasket. They'll be like, but here's this puppy, though, and then back to America.
Yeah. I don't know. It just kind of irks me a little bit.
Well,
because there's so much we have to learn.
Well, it should irk you, and it should irk most American citizens because of where we came from. Mm. We won the space race.
I was like, we didn't just win the space race. We, as a nation, pioneered space exploration.
Yeah.
More so, I mean, you can argue that Japan has pioneered Earth technology more than anybody, but nobody has contributed more to space than us.
Mm-hmm. Just because we didn't want another country to outdo us.
Well, just because we didn't want the Soviets to put a laser up there and kill us all, what it boils down to.
Well, I mean, in reality, though, I was reading a thing the other day. It's kind of funny that you would bring this up at this point. The flag that was planted on the moon, it's not completely white.
I was saying it got bleached because there's no atmosphere to protect it from the sun.
No. And that's crazy to me. You know, why don't we send? It sounds stupid. Let's use a couple $1 billion and send somebody up there to
put another one.
Put another one.
Put a bigger one.
Yeah.
Put one that's got like sunscreen on it.
UV protected.
Yeah, UV protection. We have the technology now.
Yeah,
banana boat it.
Well, that's like another thing too. Is like a lot of people don't know this, and this is old news. You know, we have a mirror up there for the specific purpose of shooting a laser at it to prove that we put it there because of the people. They're like, we never made it to the moon at all. Yeah, we have physical evidence that we made it to the moon because they specifically did a mission to put this big mirror up there that they can target with this laser on Earth, shoot the laser, bounce it off the mirror back to the computer, and see how long it takes just to prove we were there.
And if you've ever watched Big Bang Theory, you saw them do it.
Yeah. Or Mythbusters. They actually did it first on Mythbusters.
I've never seen that episode, so I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yep.
Yes.
It was specifically done so that we're like, you have no proof. Like back in the space race days, and you guys know my theory that we faked the original landing to get us ahead of Russia because I think that's really cool, like the best lie, greatest lie ever told. But after the fact, we did go. And regardless of when we win or not, the mirror is there specifically to prove that we put it there.
Yeah.
And I always hear like this argument and stuff like, well, there's so much we need to learn about like oceanic science and everything. We've yet to discover a large part of the ocean. I was like, yeah, that's very true.
Well, we do know less about our ocean than we know about the immediate space around us.
But the thing is, though, we're doing that.
That's true.
Well, I mean,
we're doing that also.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point I was about to make. You know, we've got oceanographers and we've got microbiologists and we've got, marine biologists and all these other things that study the ocean. What is so wrong with us taking a few dollars, giving it to the nerds that do the astrophysicists and stuff, and letting them shoot stuff into space?
That was just like his talking method. He was not indicating that I know anything about space.
No, he's got no clue.
The most I know about space is that you can fly a ship up there, apparently, and that's pretty cool.
But I mean, that's the reality of the scientific network at this point. Is we don't have to devote everything to one study.
Yeah, we can do multiple.
You know, we've got the capital. We're a superpower in the world.
Yeah.
We're the only.
Yeah.
Well,
That is true now.
Yeah, all the other superpowers are conglomerates. We're the only us.
Yeah.
Like if they were like no more groups together, we would be the only one left because we're the only one that's us. We're the only one that pays our dues in NATO. Did you know that?
Yeah, I'm aware. Like that's another
another problem that we shouldn't even be in. But
I'm just saying, just to talk about the fact that we are the only true superpower. We're the only ones that have enough money, even with all the debt we have, to pay our dues every year.
I mean, since we're here at this point, I actually read a study, or I didn't read a study. I read where a lot of Europeans were griping about Americans wanting a socialist country. And the reason being is that the only way that their socialist countries are propped up is the fact that we're giving so much to NATO.
Yeah. I believe it.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
If it was left up to me, we wouldn't be in NATO.
No, I mean, we could take that money and...
I was about to say, if it was left up to me,
Give it
NATO
to
wouldn't
NASA.
exist.
Yeah, exactly. SpaceX and NASA.
I actually talked about that
Here's
before
one thing.
in a private conversation, the fact that at its inception, it was a good thing, but it's outdated. We don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. You know, you keep saying SpaceX and NASA. Personally, and I know Elon don't give a rip about my opinion, SpaceX should never take a dime from the U.S.
True.
Yeah.
I agree.
The fact that it is a private sector space exploration group means everything in the world to me.
Well, and two...
Because he's done it himself.
Yeah. Well, a big thing with that, and a lot of people compare the two, and I don't want to follow that trope, but it honestly is true. Look at Iron Man 2 when they were like, you have to give us the suits. He's like, no, those are my suits. I built the suits. They are my private property, and you can't claim them. And if Tony never took money from the U.S., so they couldn't. And Elon should do the same thing, because at any point, if he takes a penny from the Fed, they can be like, these are ours now, and he doesn't really have a leg to stand on.
But that's why I like what he's done with SpaceX so much, is because he set out, and he had people telling him, I watched an interview with him, he had Buzz Aldrin, he had Neil Armstrong, major players in the original space exploration tell him, you don't need to do this. You need to stay away from it. And he said, I don't care about y'all's opinion. I look up to y'all greatly, but I do not care about y'all's opinion. I want to do this, so I'm going to do this. And he did it.
Well, it's literally like the Boring Company. That one's one that doesn't really get talked about all that much with everything else he's got going on. He has said in numerous interviews, Joe Rogan podcast being one, how did this all start? Well, one day, stuck in traffic, I was like, how can we fix this? Then put it underground. So I started digging a hole, and I was like, this hole's not big enough. So I started digging a bigger hole, and I was like, this hole's not big enough. So I had to ask the state of California, and they finally signed off on it. So I started digging a really, really big hole.
I love that episode when he did that, yeah. But, I mean, if it was up to you, this is where I get into, like, the left up to you portion of the podcast. If it was left up to you, and you had the money and
Like
stuff...
if you were Elon Musk.
Yeah, if you were Elon Musk with SpaceX, what would your main focus be as far as space exploration? Like terraforming, orbiting?
What would my main focus be?
Yeah.
My main focus currently would be changing legislation so that I could have private sector astronauts.
Yes.
Okay.
That's cool. I like that idea. For me, my prime focus, again, I mentioned it earlier, so it shouldn't come as a surprise, spaceflight. I want to see spaceflight revolutionized to the point that you can have your private Tesla spaceship.
He's actually working on not necessarily your private Tesla spaceship, but he's working on changing commuter jets to subspace, zero-G flights.
Yeah.
Because it conserves so much fuel.
Yeah.
Like passenger plane SR-71 Blackbirds?
Like that, well, kind of.
Well, that's where it would start, but I'm talking about progressing it to the point that we have like single man, not necessarily fighter jets, but just like luxury jets. Like, you've got your Bugatti that you can take on the highway and go super fast, or you've got your, single jet plane. I want a spaceship. It's me and another guy, and we just flying through space looking at stuff.
And you?
Commercialize it. Make it where you can buy a ticket to go if you want to go. If you want to go to the moon, if you want to go somewhere, commercialize it.
Or even
make it just like an airline.
it was like kind of like what Jordan was talking about. If you want to do a space flight to wherever.
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
It'd
with
be
it.
just like an airline.
Yeah.
You just
Changing the legislation would have to come first, because you can't have flight like an airline to the moon or to Mars or to wherever we finally make it without having your own astronauts, because as long as you're having to send NASA astronauts up and NASA astronauts only, you can't carry private individuals.
Yeah.
Now, wait a second. I'm glad you mentioned the commercialization of it. What happened to the Virgin Airlines guy that was supposed to be doing this? You remember that
Virgin
whole...
went bankrupt a long time ago.
Yeah, they ran out of
Virgin
money.
went bankrupt? I see. Mainstream media don't talk about it, so I didn't ever see it.
Well, yeah,
Bouncing off of both of your ideas, I would like to see luxury like space, basically yacht or not yachts, cruise ships. Or instead of taking like a land or a sea cruise to go somewhere.
Oh, you could do like a commercialized like space cruise.
Yeah, like it's a resort in space and you travel around the world.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
and they've already got precedent that's worked. I mean, there've been several multi-millionaires that have went to space through Russia.
Yeah. Yeah, because Russia will send anybody.
Yeah, they've proven that it's not a big deal, to do it. It's just, you go through a little bit of training, let the guys that know what they're doing fly the spaceship. You get to go up, you get to come back.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the biggest problem with it is they want to make it out like, oh, you've got to be able to. If everyone else dies, how are you gonna make it back?
Probably ain't.
Yeah. I mean, if everyone. Here's the thing.
I'm gonna point it towards that. I'm gonna point it back towards that big blue and green ball.
Here's the biggest problem. Everybody else is already dead. We're on a spaceship. Either I killed them, they died of natural causes somehow simultaneously,
or some mechanical problem.
or there's a mechanical.
I was about to say, because that's
that
the
I
thing.
can't fix.
Like,
and I'm already dead.
Yeah, if everyone else is dead, the only conceivable way that I have to be the one to fly it back in the situation is if they all had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Because literally anything else that could happen is going to kill me too. Does something blow up? I'm also dead.
Yeah.
And if I'm not dead, I'm gonna die because it's a whole lot harder to land an exploded spaceship, I feel like.
You just grab the headset and say, talk to me, Goose.
Talk to me, Goose.
I'm telling you, point it back towards the ball. That's blue and green, and just let the mission control do the rest.
I was
of it.
about to say, that's a good point too, because they do that with planes.
No angle, no none, just
Is it-
straight in.
Is it a ball or is it a plate?
Oh,
Apparently,
don't
it's
get me
apparently
Get me started on
They're
flat
like
Earth.
flat earthers.
apparently it's an egg.
Yeah, they're an idiot.
Technically, yes.
Apparently it's an egg.
It's not a perfect sphere. But
Listen, my
that-
globe is a perfect sphere.
And here's the biggest problem with flat earthers, and going back to what the original topic was, the mainstream media's lack of attention for any kind of space exploration or anything like that. We wouldn't have flat earthers if we were constantly covering the fact that we've got people up there that are just taking pictures.
No, we would, because I've talked to it, and you've talked to him too, a flat earther that believes we've been to space, but he thinks that those flat pictures are what it looks like. And he has a theory. So you see what happens is the Earth doesn't move, right? And the sun, right, is like this. And that's how you have day and night. And I was like...
Didn't he do that with a flashlight?
He did. And I was like, first of all, that's stupid. Second of all, we had an entire, like witch hunt over this centuries ago.
Copernicus.
I was looking for the sound wave.
Oh, there is no sound wave on that.
Like, it's ridiculous.
But I've met skydivers and paratroopers
They think the Earth is flat?
think there's like, well, when you jump out, you can just look at the horizon and you can just tell.
You're not up high enough.
I'm like, oh
What
my
about
god.
what about all those that have seen the actual curvature of the Earth?
Well, that's the thing. Every time you see the horizon, you're seeing the curvature
there.
of the Earth.
That's another thing, too. There are people that will be in planes, like really big, like almost touching subspace planes, look out and go, it's the windows.
Okay.
The windows are curved.
Perfect show and tell It's like, okay, Earth. According to flat earthers, you got it's flat. And I was like, well, what about the edge? And they're like, well, gravity's so strong right here that you can't go. It's like just pulling back. And I was like, did you watch a animated cartoon Sinbad by any chance?
What makes me laugh more than anything about flat Earth, and it's, again, shout you out, Joe. I love you. I know RD loves you. I think we all kind of love your show. There was an episode, it was 5 hours long, with Eddie Bravo and Alex Jones. Now, Alex Jones, across the world, is known as a crazy person. Alex Jones is not a flat earther. Eddie Bravo is a flat earther. And on camera, Alex Jones goes, I will pay for it. You gather up a team, and we'll go. And we'll fly that way. And we'll find the edge of the Earth. And he's like, no, it ain't like no. I was like, because you know you're wrong.
Well, that's my thing with it. You know, I've seen all these these videos and stuff of these flat earthers conducting experiments. My favorite one is there was a whole, I believe it was a Netflix special. Let me get Turner here. I believe it was a Netflix special. These flat earthers brought all this money together.
Mm-hmm.
It was $20,000 to buy an extremely accurate gyroscopic laser.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, if the Earth is round and if it turns the way that everyone says it does, we should see a 15-degree shift every hour. Because that's full sphere divided by 24, 15 degrees.
Right.
Math. No. Yeah. Well, they're sitting there and they're watching it. And they come back to them an hour later. They said, we can't figure out what's going on. So what do you mean you can't figure out what's going on? We've seen a 15-degree shift and it doesn't make any sense to us.
Well, that's my favorite
Like
argument.
we can't figure out why.
is take one of those antique globes, sit on the table, and spin it.
Well, see, that's the thing too. You know, a lot of them believe that it isn't spinning. That it's a stationary.
Stationary, yeah.
Well, okay, that's okay. Now you're saying that it doesn't spin, but you're also saying that the gravity is so bad that it's pulling everything away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't have gravity without it spinning.
Nope.
If
I
it's
mean-
flat, then we're all just like,
Yeah, I mean,
That's another point.
But I mean, it's got to spin to create the gravity.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just don't.
well, my favorite argument is, okay, Earth's flat, cool. Then how come, flat earthers in the comments below, explain this one to me. How come if I get on a plane and I fly to Japan and my flight leaves to the east, I can go to Japan? But if I get on a different plane in the same place and I fly west, I still goes to Japan.
May take
No,
a little longer.
my favorite one are the ones who argue that the Earth is flat. It does not.
That's the argument I hear. It's so big that you don't realize it, but you're slightly canted and you just make a circle.
Yeah, because those instruments wouldn't pick that up. And, hey, dude, you're turning.
But they argue that no, we don't spin, but we do still revolve around the sun.
It's just a plate. Just
Doing this, and that's how they explain seasons. We are making the revolution. We're just not spinning while we're doing it.
But then that would explain like rotation. Then in that case, Alabama should just always be hot. I mean, it always is, but Alabama should just always be
always.
hot.
I'm about to say, it's not always hot. It's blazing swamp heat. Or you have like a nice little short fall, and then bam, it's cold till July again. And there's ice on the ground.
Talking about the whole gravity thing Pops brought up, there was this YouTube video and it was explaining the rotation and gravity and everything. It's like, what if Earth stopped spinning right now?
We would all die.
He goes, you would get thrown into oblivion because everything that you know would get uprooted and tossed.
Gone.
He uses the correct word, because you wouldn't get thrown off the Earth. You would get thrown so fast that you would just go.
I mean, that's the thing. You get thrown into oblivion. That's great. We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, roughly.
But how come I don't feel it? Because you're spinning.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just like
It's like being
Same
in a plane
argument.
and you're flying super
Yeah.
fast and you can just get up and walk around in the cabin.
yeah, you're doing
Same concept.
You're doing 750 miles an hour, and it feels like you're taking a brisk stroll. I mean, come on.
I will say, in a plane, it does feel like you're standing in an elevator the whole time, but that's a completely different thing.
You can still, that's like, oh my god, flat
It
Earth.
shouldn't feel like you're standing in an elevator the whole time.
I've got the ear thing.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Chew gum.
International Flat Earth Research Society.
You're gonna leave that in your history?
Modern Flat Earth Society.
Oh, the thing is, it started as a joke, and then enough crazy people got a hold of it that didn't get the joke that now it's a thing.
You know the guy who came up with the most recent one, like started this in the modern era? He also drank his own piss for 30 days straight.
Do you
I'm
know
not
when
kidding.
this started?
30s?
1816.
Wow.
So it just never stopped, is what I'm hearing.
That's true. It's always
No.
Modern Flat Earth beliefs organized with the English writer, or originated with the English writer Samuel Robotham.
See, what I'm
Is
hearing...
that a gift image of a flat Earth spinning? Or that's just a regular Earth?
That's just a contemporary scientific view of the Earth rotating.
And then this
AKA false.
Yeah, you've seen the same one for years. They never went back and took pictures. That's just one that they generated. You've never seen an actual video of the Earth. And I'm like, turn on NASA Network.
No, NASA's in on the lie. It's the globalists.
But they always talk about the fact is you don't have any video of it. You don't have any video. Turn it on. They've got live video of that stuff just spinning
I'm
away.
pretty sure you can go to NASA's website and there is a camera that is posted outside the ISS that you can access at any point.
Yeah.
And that's
It
my
really
thing
is.
too. The globalist argument about it. I love him. I love you. I hate that you got took off YouTube. Alex Jones is the biggest globalist conspiracy theorist in the world. Doesn't believe in flat Earth.
Yeah. If he says it's not true, pretty much guaranteed it's not because he tries to sell everything.
Yes. Well, because that's his thing, right? His whole platform is conspiracies.
I was trying to figure out what this was right there. What's up?
And this is a man that believes in 7 dimensions and a secret alien war between heaven and hell that you can't see going on because aliens are demons and they're from another dimension. And he doesn't believe in a flat
Here we
Earth.
go. Here we go. Here's one for you. I'm gonna let all y'all see it.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Those hurricanes we were talking about earlier.
That,
That's a picture from ISS. Looking at that hurricane.
Okay, but see,
but it's flat.
no, look what happened, Jordan.
You can definitely
that
see
camera
the curve.
lens is a fisheye.
Oh.
And so
So it's making it round.
it's making it round.
Oh,
yeah.
It's flat. That hurricane just been on that flat.
They
plate.
use
Yeah,
trick
that's pretty
cameras.
cool.
That is a neat looking, yeah. But they use trick cameras to make you think it's round. That's why you can't trust it.
Oh, okay.
You know, but it all goes back. You know, they use all this stuff just kind of like, you know, and I'm not 100% on board with you on the whole thing about the going to the moon first business.
Well, like I said, I do think we've been there.
I think, you know, I may be with the, you know, with the faking the first one. I may be like 92% with you on it because it does make perfect sense. I mean, because, you know, through the historical documents, people that remember it talk about the fact is that we weren't ready.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden we got
Here
ready.
we are, yeah.
You know, but you know, and that's where a lot of that comes from. That's why I say, well, you can't trust NASA because they faked the moon landing.
Yeah.
Well, technically, yeah, I guess they did fake the first one, but we did get there.
There and again, like the whole premise of my theory on the fake moon landing is that the first one was a lie because we needed Russia to quit trying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had to because, you know, international rules, first one there gets to claim it, and you have to get permission after that, and we weren't going to give them permission.
Exactly.
No, absolutely.
Well, we don't want someone building a moon base
Yeah.
like we should build.
Like we probably are.
I'm about to say, now that could be a lie that mirror may be hooked up to like a mansion. It may
It's
actually
just the front door.
I was like, it may actually be the door.
No, actually, the mirror is hooked up to the new Space Force. It's hooked up to their barracks.
Oh, it's Project Death Star.
Yeah, it's hooked up to their barracks. You know, you think it shoots light back. Nah, it actually targets.
Right here. We are building a moon base.
Nice.
Well, I figured we was.
It's a jump off point.
You call it a jump off point. I call it a gas station.
Basically, yeah. It's literally a giant Big Loves on the moon.
They're gonna pull that spaceship in. They're gonna hop out, pull that handle out, put it in the spaceship, and they're gonna stand there like it's right here, waiting on it to run up about 14,000.
because the spaceship takes so much gas, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna hop out. They're gonna have the pump guy be like, "All right, fill this up." They're gonna go in there. They're gonna take their 5-quarter shower. That's like the best shower in the world. They're gonna get their hot dog on the little rotary thingy and talk about the trip
in a camo hat.
in a camo hat.
Well, it's like it depends on who's in charge. Because if it's anybody from Texas to Georgia, there's gonna be a Dollar General up there.
No, it's gonna be one of them.
It's convenient.
It's gonna be one of them big loves. It's gonna be one of them big loves that has like the food court. It's got like a KFC and a McDonald's in it.
It's like,
Oh man.
like, no, stay away from Taco Bell. We got another 3 light years to go.
Yeah, right.
Now, which one of you southern states put the Dollar General up there?
I'm not riding with you if you eat Taco Bell.
You staying at the big loves.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. You eat the Taco Bell, I'm cracking a window. That's bad for everybody.
But here's my big thing: if there's a big
Sucking
loves
right
on
out
the
of
moon, that means that there's Coors Light on the moon.
That's another issue with it itself.
Oh man, how did we get to the big loves on the moon?
There will be some sort of convenience store on the moon, though. We just got to figure out which one is going to be.
Oh yeah, I mean there will have to be eventually.
Or yeah, like straight, like the.
If we're gonna go down this rabbit hole into space exploration and truly use the moon as a jumping off point, gas station, there's gonna have to be something there for these people who are taking their commercialized trip to Mars.
There's gonna be Motel 8s on the moon.
We'll leave the light on for you.
You won't see it till you get a lot closer, but we'll leave it on. Somebody with their deer rifle and their high-powered scope. I can see it on up there.
And all of the NASA crewmen are like, "How did you get a gun up here?"
Got it from the Loves.
I bought it at the Love.
Spotted at the big loves.
Like on Armageddon. Why did you bring a gun to the moon?
Moon terrorist.
Oh man.
No, that's astronaut comes back. NASA, you're back early. Astronaut grabbing a pistol. Moon's haunted. What? Moon's haunted.
I saw that. That is one of my favorite comics ever. Oh man.
Or the ones he's looking back at Earth and it's just Texas. He goes, wait, it's all Texas. He goes,
Always was.
has.
No, my favorite one of those. Wait, it's all cake. Always has been.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah, take that, flat earthers. The Earth ain't flat. It's a giant cake. Everything is cake.
No, take that, flat earthers. Earth is round. Moon's round. We're putting the big loves on the moon.
Take that, flat earthers. Earth is a loop.
It's a halo.
Yeah.
It's a big donut in the sky. And the sun loops through it. It's like a basketball hoop.
Well, I guarantee you we can speak it into existence now and make our own organization, apparently.
I think you just need $14 from crazy believers.
Lifers, if you're going to continue to be part of the club, you have to believe in loop Earth theory.
Yeah. Oh, man. I like how it was like it started off super serious.
Yeah.
And now
now we're at the big loves on the moon.
And this is why MSM doesn't talk about space.
you think they have with the big loves on the moon? You think they have like moonlight lizards?
Moon lizards?
No. Listen.
Lunar lizards.
Listen. With the big loves.
They got a big lots on the moon.
With the big loves on the moon, you can now pick up a moon rock and eat a moon pie.
I thought you were going with now that there's a big loves on the moon.
The lunar lot
Moon
lizards.
crystal meth.
Well, I mean,
Okay, now we know just
probably.
Mississippi in general has taken over the moon.
What has happened here is Elon has lost control of SpaceX, and it was bought up by like
Wow, what? You know it's true.
by like Amory.
What you got for us, Pops?
How to start a for-profit business.
I mean, a
Because the
not-for-profit?
first one's like I'm getting paid if we're doing this.
You get paid if it's a non-profit.
I
I need all
Hey,
the subscribers
for-profit.
that we still
listen.
have.
The way that a not-for-profit works is you get paid out of what y'all make, and you've got to zero out at the end of the year. So whatever's left over that is in the green can just all of a sudden be your salary.
Yeah. Like the company
And, I
can't
like
make...
the for-profit. I don't have to worry about all that. Just give me money.
The thing with the not-for-profit, though, is taxes.
That, and people look at it and go, this is not for profit.
It's a charity.
It's a charity.
I was one of those idiots. When
I'm not going to be a charity.
When I was sitting in a discharge
case.
element, there was a girl in there with me, and she was like, "Yeah, I work for a nonprofit." And I was like, "It's like, how do you pay rent and stuff? Like, do you have another job?" She's like, "No, we get paid. It's just the company doesn't make any money." I'm like, "Oh, so it's a lie."
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Because
What do
just
they
like
call it? Ponzi scheme or something like that?
Okay, and this is about to be a huge just calling you out on your crap. The Salvation Army
Yeah.
is a not-for-profit,
And the March of Dimes.
and their CEO gets paid like $100 million a year.
Yeah, the March of Dimes is called the March of Dimes because a dime of your money that you spend
I'm
is all
sorry.
it's
Did you just say how to start a cult?
Yeah, we're looking at that angle too.
Okay.
I mean,
So
flat earthers are cool.
Yeah, so it's we're a cult now.
No, it ain't hard. It ain't hard to start a cult. There was a cult of people, and this is true, documented. You can find the news story about it.
15 steps how to start a cult.
There is a cult that exists. They started with Final Fantasy called Soul Bonders. Now, let me break you in on what this is. There are people out there that think that video game characters are real.
Oh Lord.
And their souls are trapped in an alternate dimension. And you have a soul bond with these video game characters, specifically from Final Fantasy. And you're channeling them so that they can become in their natural state on Earth. And people believe this crap.
Well, I hope that's the case, because if that is the case, John Marston was awesome.
I'm going to go and tell you. You head back over the pond, you better be channeling some Call of Duty.
Yeah, I was like, no, you don't get to pick. You don't get to pick your soul bond. The cult leader does a ceremony, and she picks your soul bond. And they got caught, so they changed it. And now, you know what series that all their souls are from? Hannibal.
Oh, Lord.
I'm glad you said that. Well, which character? Because I hope to God it isn't Private Ramirez from the 3rd Modern Warfare.
Oh no, it's Ghost. You make it all the way to the end and get capped.
No. You don't get to pick. So you're like Joe Blow World War II guy over here that gets shot like
Yeah.
as soon as the game starts.
Call of Duty World War II. As soon as you exit the landing craft, first guy that is off the ramps gets clapped.
Yeah.
You're that guy.
Yeah, they have rituals
least I
where they'll
made it,
play.
though.
They'll just put on like the pause screen and let the music play, and they'll like light candles and like do this big dance and stuff. And it's like,
Wait, you being serious?
yes, this is all fact. You can look it up. This happened, and like channel from the game into your body.
See, and you thought Satanism was weird.
No, I mean, okay.
How to start a cult.
Okay.
First paragraph.
All right.
Disclaimer:
Cool.
we don't recommend you follow these rules, but
If we start one, we're looking for members.
He is the mouthpiece. We are the enforcers. This is how this works.
and I'm
Cults.
the sacrifice.
Cults are communities that fervently worship any object, person, or concept over all other things.
Loop.
While
Praise be to the loop.
massive Fruit Loop. While they have the ability to transform into manipulative enterprises in the wrong hands, they are
Always.
essentially ways of
Hands.
organizing and transforming people's lives for the better.
No.
never heard of a good cult.
You ever heard of Jonestown?
If you want to form a fervent organization around an ideal, learn what ideals work well, how to organize, and how to keep your group growing in healthy, productive ways.
Loop.
Don't build your cult on.
That's already a call.
Part 1. Part 1 of 3.
Don't be. Gonna have to censor that one. He's scared now.
Picking an obsession. That's part 1.
Loop.
You have to pick an obsession.
What are we obsessed with? The loop?
Choose a subject or activity that improves your life.
Yoga on the loop.
Is that where you do yoga on one of those like pregnancy donuts?
Yes. It's to draw you in closer with the spirituality of the sacred
Now-
loop
now
that
these-
we all live on. It's to bring the energy of the soul loop we all share into you.
Now this is a credible source. It's on WikiHow.
Yes, it is. It's possible to form a cult around French cheese. That's an example.
Like Gruyere?
Menage a
Cults,
trois.
while
Not the
often
wine, though.
religious in nature, do not need to be. Oh yeah, they do. If you're gonna bring people in, they've got to think that you're worshiping something.
Okay, talking
Yeah.
about the fact that it can be based off anything, if my video game example wasn't enough. You know, Jared Leto has started a cult. He's got his own island, and it's a 30 Minutes to Mars or 30 Seconds to Mars, whatever that band is. It's a cult. He dresses like Jesus. He's got a white robe. You pay like $6,000 to go. Yeah, it's a real thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
This is at the bottom of it. You can form a Canasta cult or a World of Warcraft cult.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Wait,
That's already a cult.
if you want, just make sure it's positive, good, and harmless.
Until the suicide at the end. Or the murders.
Until the mothership shows up.
Oh my lord.
That's actually a really interesting cult. It's like 42 people. They believed in like the mothership and all. You guys probably know, your older audience probably knows, they're like all dressed in the same tracksuit, Nike shoes, and they all killed themselves except one guy. They drew lots and picked a guy, and his sole job was to stay behind and keep the website running. You can't join because only the leader could bring in new members. But they were all happy. Like, there's exit tapes. They like sat him down in front of a camera. Like, why are you happy to kill yourself? I'm like, I'm just so happy to go back to the mothership.
Well, they were happy in Waco till the feds lit it on fire.
That cult was peaceful
Till it.
until
Till it wasn't.
some three-letter organization.
I mean, the Manson family wasn't doing no harm to nobody.
Number 2. See, we're still on 1.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Wait,
Wow.
one was a 3-part?
Yeah. Choose a subject or activity that you can be passionate about.
Loop.
You might say that you love Chef Boyardee ravioli, but is it really worth worshiping in a cult-like way?
The chef is my new god.
The chef is God.
You remember the commercials? It's like, but I love Chef, and then the can hopped off, and that actually happened. That's
Oh.
our Jesus story.
There it is.
But then they throw in Star Wars,
My testimony.
Star Trek, and many kinds of sci-fi have immersive mythology and deep universes that are possible to stay really engaged in.
There actually
So
is an
wait.
atheist group that like follows like Jedi religion.
Well, they're not an atheist group.
They're a Jedi.
That's true. Yeah.
No. And is that a cult?
I don't know.
They're a cult.
I feel like there's more
look, I'm gonna
parameters
let y'all
to
in
being
on
a
this.
cult.
The Army and the military
Is it
in general
cult?
recognizes that as an actual religion.
Jedi?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, they actually.
Not gonna
recognize
say
a lot of them.
not gonna say a name myself. Had a dog tag, and my religion was Sith Lord.
Really? And they let that happen.
Yeah, you go and tell them I'm a Sith. And now, as of 2019, you can be like the ancient Viking stuff. So you can actually have
No,
Nordic.
you can Nordish. Well, what you actually are is you're a pagan.
Yeah, you're a Nordic
You
pagan.
can have it
Yeah.
on your dog tag.
But
now.
can you have like classical like Nordic religions, like where
Yes.
you like split people's backs open?
I don't know about that, but you can grow the beard and the whole thing now.
But like,
Eagle.
but like,
Dude,
the-
I would.
like animal
look,
sacrifice and stuff.
Full
don't know.
Christian.
But they have chaplains now that are dedicated to paganism.
Really?
And
Full
will-
Christian. I would go there. I would say, all right, yeah, I'm a Norse pagan, just so I can grow my beard out, and everybody can go, why you got a beard?
It's my religion.
Norse pagan.
Number 3.
Pick something you think will benefit others.
The loop.
Your first question, if you're forming a cult, should be: would the world be a better or worse place if everyone was as enthusiastic about this thing as we are,
'Cause-
or as I am?
Wait. Would the world be a better or worse place if me and 40 of my dearest friends committed suicide?
Well, hold on. Let's think about this for a second.
Dearest.
Think about how much our lives benefit from the loop. Without a loop, this podcast would be in the toilet as far as quality goes. I don't know if you guys know this, but our primary source of light for this show is a loop. A wholly illuminated loop of pure white light.
We're not starting a
Purifying
cult.
us
We're not
so that
starting
we
a
can
cult.
bring you the truth.
All right, I'm through
About
talking
the
about
loop.
Of the loop.
Where did
He's
this
getting
go from?
serious about it. He's going to have people sending in donations.
Donuts. They're gonna send in donuts.
We're going to get boxes of Fruit Loops and donuts. We are the evangelists of the loop. That's the new podcast. Men's Club's out. Evangelists
Well,
of
that's
the
the
loop.
thing. The loop isn't even a new religion. Look at how many loops are sacred to so many religions. What is a wedding band but a loop?
Get out.
I'm glad we're getting close to the end of this.
Oh,
podcast.
man. This
How
is
do you
something
get
we gotta
around?
make him
How do
go
you get
second
around
class.
in your automobile, but
Not
with the
mine.
help of 4 loops and a 5th central loop that you are directly connected to at all times? Except for Tesla cars, but we don't talk about them because they're of the devil.
So wait, so there's the almighty loop, and then there is a devil.
Yeah, and it's anything that isn't a loop.
Is it a square?
Yeah. What's the antithesis of a loop?
This is a devil then.
A cube?
Oh yes, that is mega devil.
Oh man,
The cube has like
like cube.
For every religion, there must be an anti-religion. Christians have Satanists. The loop have cubists.
Cubist. Lupus.
And again, since time immemorial, there is an art style devoted to cubism. Loop's a real thing.
So anybody who bears a Rubik's Cube, stone them to death.
No.
But stone them
So-
with
so
circular rocks.
We ring them to death.
No,
hit him
wait,
with
wait,
we, we hit him with hula hoops.
I thought loopism was a religion of peace.
Loopism is a religion of peace, except for when it calls for war. For as the circle of
So
life.
wait a minute, that sounds like a whole lot like another religion.
Well, look, as the circle is of life, and the side.
No, cut that. Disney will sue us.
The loop,
circle of life.
the loop of eternity being a round, never-ending loop. I can't say circle anymore.
Well, you can. You just can't put it with life.
Like all things, even Christianity
Can
talks
though?
about the seasons and how there's a
Disney
time
owns
for
that.
war at this part of the loop
Disney owns
and a
the whole
time for
phrase.
peace. Maybe this part of the loop. War is a very large part of the loop.
Speaking of religions that go to war.
No, loopism as a whole is a very peaceful religion, but like all religions, there are militant loopists.
Lupus. Lupus. I like Fruit Loops.
Well, considering there's only 4 of us, so 1 in 4 is a militant-minded lupist. Anyway, for the love of God. For the love of
See, I've got you sucked into it.
For the love of loop.
How did we get to the loop cult? How did
Somebody's
we
going to
make
be
it
watching this and be like,
Yes. gonna be watching this and be like,
Okay,
it
you
all makes
realize that
sense.
every time you say that, I've got to go back and watch this and cut that, right?
You can't say that anymore. Cube, call him a cube.
So
Anyone that
as I'm talking right now, and if I say
gonna have to be
like
cut.
you just censored that right now, I just
Oh
got
my
censored.
God.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Matter of fact, this whole section probably just got cut because it's like
No, at this point, he's made a joke out of it, so I've got to leave it in because it's kind of funny.
He's just gotta go. Boop.
No, I'm going to censor it like I did the last time I censored him and just cut out the audio.
No.
But I like to
Record an audio snippet of me going. Loop.
I like the beeps though. I mean, you're gonna censor me, do it right.
I'm going to censor you with a piece of duct tape here in a minute.
With a loop of duct tape all the way around the head to cleanse his sinful heart.
Okay, so now if you're censoring me, if I say it slowly, like you got to blur my mouth too, right?
Now he's got to blow your mouth in general.
I just got cut. We're back.
Like actually
And
cut.
we're
He's
back.
like bleeding right now.
But
Oh, man.
anybody else have anything for the good of the
Go to the
podcast?
loop.
The weapon of choice for our religion is the chopper.
Where I don't get censored and or cut.
For the love of loop, would
Somebody's
you
gonna be watching this and be like, "Man, Reynolds must have said something bad."
somebody else is gonna be watching this and be like,
I must write the holy word of loop.
and they're gonna like send me a personal email somehow and be like, "Prophet, I've written the text."
it's an actual loop, but it has like math equations up.
No, it's
it's
like a scroll, but then it's looped this way and it's written like on the loop. I have to turn it to read it.
it's too hard.
This is difficult.
It's just too stupid.
The path.
Oh, he can say that.
My son.
Yes, there is no derogatory meaning behind stupid.
My son.
I'm
No
not
one
putting
said.
that
No one said that it would be easy to walk the
Is
loop.
there not?
There's not.
So what are the? Okay, you're stupid.
There you go.
The path around the loop is filled with strife and struggle, but it's worth every second.
I'm not on board with the loop. I'm just gonna tell you right
Well, you
now.
can't be.
So you're a cubist?
Huh?
Are you a cubist?
I'm a cubist.
You can't be on board with it, but that's okay because
Oh,
as the
man.
official prophet of the loop, we are very observant of the freedom of religion as we are an American organization.
But you stone cubists.
We don't stone cubists.
We
advocate-
advocate
stone.
There's certain militant members of loopism that maybe act a little crazy around Cuba sometimes, and that's not my fault.
We can't control everyone.
We can't control everyone.
God.
Look at Westboro
Oh,
Baptist Church. I mean, come on.
I'm glad. That's
Oh, my loop.
yes. Westboro Baptist.
I'm so glad that we started with such a normal topic of conversation.
And now I'm a cult leader.
A code of one, but you are a cult leader.
There's at least one more.
That just makes you nuts.
Like, this is what actually happens. We can't have a normal conversation.
No, this is
One of the
this is
cameras
real
stuck in
life.
front of us, and this is what happens when a camera's stuck in front of us.
We're
still the same.
Notice that the camera lens.
Oh my god.
No, it's not a loop.
No,
It's
it's
a curve.
It's a loop.
No, it's a curve.
Look at the center lens.
No, I thought you were talking about the blue.
No. The
It's
center
just a
lens.
curve.
The center lens. No, that's the broken loop, and that's our harrowing story of the fall of the lupus man. But we'll have another.
There's
podcast
about to be a
about it.
fall of the
Yeah, because we're entering the close to being ending of the podcast.
All right, let's get serious again for a second. No more loops for now. I won't push my religion on everyone.
Kind of upset I can't say.
No.
RD just learned a valuable lesson in censorship.
There's a word and it starts with the letter of my first name, and I can't even say that word.
Way to give it away. I was wanting to leave him a
I
cliffhanger.
don't know what the letter of your first name is. It could be anything.
I say my name all the time.
And we say his name.
It might have a silent letter. You don't know how he spells it.
How Richard got a silent letter in it?
It's an O.
God, no. Here we go. Anyway, serious for a moment.
Go for it.
There was nothing that followed that.
No, that was all he had.
I was just trying to rein it in because I'm the one that took it off the rails. You have to follow up. I can't do it all. I can't be crazy and normal. Somebody has to fill in the blank here.
Okay. How many
Yeah, he's
subscribers have we got?
74.
Not after tonight.
Let me rephrase that. How many subscribers did we have?
74. There's going to be 100,000.
Okay, I'll just go for 100 right now. Remember, guys,
2 holy loops.
we're
I'm sorry.
we're still trying to get to that 100 mark, so we can do our field trip to a big box store and put together 4 bags,
Probably
survival
big
bags. For the lupus here, it's probably going to be just a bunch of loops inside of them. You're gonna get a slinky, a frisbee.
No, frisbees aren't loops.
No. Backpack. You know those big industrial-sized Fruit Loops? Just dumping them.
No, it's going to be a shoulder bag because it's a loop.
Oh my god. But the backpack.
But
has
we're
2
going.
loops.
But we're going to.
And all the zippers have loops. It's perfect.
But we're going to be doing that still. We're trying to get that going. We've still got our lost episode of our packs that we were waiting on someone to get their packs.
I've already said it 2 weeks ago. Wait, we should do.
You weren't here 2 weeks ago.
Go ahead.
You were looped.
You just got looped.
Got looped. So we still got that episode that we're going to do. But yeah, guys, listen, like, subscribe, share.
notification bell.
We're super happy you stuck with us this long, honestly.
I'm super happy. If you're still watching at this moment at like the almost the hour mark and you have set through the loop and you're still here, please drop something in the comments.
Drop a loop. Drop a big O.
In the comments that you are here, because that tells me that you are faithful even through that. You're still here with us. So
Oh, we're going to have
Is there
like
gas fumes in here or something?
vape.
we're going to have at least 10 people.
No, like something that would absolutely get all of us high as a kite, because that's the only explanation for this.
I'm not high. I have sat here quietly and listened to the loop for 35 minutes.
And there's a lot more where that comes from.
I've got food in there cooking, and I'm listening to loop.
2 O's.
Hey, wait, since we're back in here. Guess the flag.
We've already guessed this
This
flag.
flag's
flag's
been
already
up.
been up?
Yeah.
This
Oh,
flag
it's been a minute then.
This flag was the last flag to be up.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't changed it since then.
I gotta get that one out there, which I'm not gonna tell you guys. I gotta get that one out there and put it up.
They have a flag out there with a loop on it, and that's going to be the next one.
Oh, for the love of God, yeah, there is one.
Love the loop.
For the love of loop.
Don't stone me.
You can't say that either.
Okay, that one's getting censored.
They're all getting censored.
You don't get to negotiate. Like, all right, leave one of the R's in there.
Come on, man.
It's good. It's funny.
You can't say it.
But they don't know that. And I didn't
Okay.
even finish it.
You finished enough that everyone here knew it, so everyone out there knew it.
No, they don't, because I don't know what he said.
I just got bleeped.
You just got looped.
Mr. Editor.
All right, let's close it down.
Please, before I have to edit more of this.
Winding it down, space. What do you think of it? Like it, love it, flat Earth, round Earth. If you want to be a loop follower, send me an @ in the comments. I don't expect anyone to. I'm not that delusional yet. Like, subscribe, share. Share's the biggest one. We thank you so much for being here, and we thank you so much for staying with us. Get more people in, because then you have people to talk bad about me after the show's over. You're like, did you hear what that crazy Luke guy said on the TV show?
Did you hear how many times RD was censored in this? Half his comments you couldn't even hear.
He must have been saying some nasty stuff.
That last one, honest to God, slipped.
Luke.
It looped out of you.
Yeah. It honest to Luke slipped.
Oh man, but again, we thank you so much for being here. It's been a wild ride, and I can't wait for it to get inevitably wilder.
I was telling him, I was like, I just knew it from the start. I was going to be the first one to get censored. Unintentionally.
I think it was me, actually. I think
No,
No, it was definitely.
Oh, was
Artie's
he?
already been censored.
Oh, has he really?
Yeah, we already got him one time.
What did he say? Oh, you can't say it here.
I mean, you can't. Jordan's going to have to censor it.
Anyway, like, subscribe, share.
We've said it like 100 times. Sorry.
I've been Jordan.
It's been your holy Luke prophet, TJ.
I'm RD. Go ahead and cut it.
And I'm Pops. Cha-ching, ching, loop.